It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Final Percent podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. A little backstory on what I'm up to, what I'm doing. I'm driving to the gym. It is 8:13 on Wednesday. So, yes, I am tardy, but we are doing a really big release and just kind of a get-together, a digital get-together on our Facebook group. So if you're listening to this and you're not yet in our Facebook group, we're trying to get a group of like-minded people together so that we can share ideas, create a community. If anyone wants to know, yes, I just opened a Bing. It is one of my vices. But I'm on my way to the gym, so I needed an energy drink. But we're getting ready. We're gonna announce some really cool get-togethers. We're gonna announce some fun things that we've got planned, and we're gonna do it Mountain Time, 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Now, if you're a part of the mastermind, you are actually more than welcome to come hang out at TFP Studios at 11:30, get a workout in with us. Then we're going to do lunch. And then after lunch, we're going to work on our mastermind members' businesses. And then have a quick break before we go live and talk to the entire community. But this Facebook group, it is named the Final Percent Network on Facebook. So if you're interested in joining that group, we would absolutely love to have you on or in the group, because it takes a community to build a community. So we used to, if you're wondering, I thought I was in that group. We did have a group back in the day, and just with COVID and a bunch of other things, and just we wanted to kind of shake things up in my trying to streamline my life in that moment, we had actually disbanded that group. So anyway, if you are interested, we would love to have you come see what that is all about. But what I want to talk about tonight is why am I going to the gym? I have a great gym at home. and I've got my beautiful wife at home, my kiddo at home. Every now and then we go to Lifetime Fitness, but I'm not going to Lifetime Fitness. Now, why would I drive to go to another gym? Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, well, there might be a good contact. Oh, you're meeting somebody there. No, actually, what happened is I watched this movie called Bigger, and it is about Joe Weider, who I know I have a few Canadians who listen to this podcast. I found out that, he was Canadian, absolutely loved I was going to say Canada. Absolutely loved Canada, and was very proud of his heritage and what Canada brought to him. So the more I find out about that country, I'm just saying Canada's pretty rad. So anyway, big nod to Canada. But I watched this movie, and he is considered the father of bodybuilding, and an absolute consummate, the just amazing entrepreneur that you hear. But because it's, not big tech and it's not, $1 trillion companies, you might not know who this is. But he really brought bodybuilding into, and gyms for that matter, into the forefront of society that we have today. And, why do I think that that's important? I think that that's important to understand is, entrepreneurial spirits live everywhere. And it was really fun to watch because, I have music and I have kind of like the more industrial side of things on the entrepreneurial side. But man, watching this inspired me so much that because I didn't know that he had started Gold's Gym. And so, what did I say to myself? All right, where's the nearest Gold's Gym? I want to go experience Gold's Gym. and I want to just go see what it's turned into and what his legacy. He died when he was 93, with his wife by his side, and they at least in the movie. I haven't read books or anything about him. I haven't dove into his story, but I absolutely will be. But they really depicted a great love story, and a story that was built around what I think are the right things and the right values, and the way that they stood up for one another and they stood with one another. Really reminded me of me and my wife. And so let's kind of dive into another aspect of this. So anyway, if you want to watch the movie, it didn't get good reviews. To be honest with you, I don't know why. I thought it was actually a pretty good movie. Is it groundbreaking? I mean, maybe not. But here's the thing. What I have learned, and I want you to adopt this, when you are trying to get something accomplished. So a lot of you know that I am doubling down on my health. I have been for quite some time, but in a lot of ways I feel like I'm just getting started. I have absolutely turned my body into a science experiment in so many ways. And I'm, monkeying around with my diet and when I work out, and is it high rep, is it low rep, is like how much cardio is there, is it long workout, short workout, sauna, really trying to manipulate what's going on in my body so that I can better understand the science behind it. And so over the last 8 months, I've really turned my body into a science experiment. But here's the thing, I coached my butt off today, and it was mentally draining. I think I was in front of a Zoom camera for, close to 8 hours. And, when I got done, I was just going, I am spent. And here's the thing, I don't want to work out. I don't want to do it. And so what I've learned sorry about my little cough. What I've learned is anytime you don't want to do something, surround yourself with things that will keep you on task. And what I mean by that, so it used to be like when, obviously in business, when I'm trying to get business concepts, I'm trying to think business, and I'm trying to, go after the business acumen, if you will, I would be listening to personal growth books and business books constantly so that I can have those proper conversations. And then when I was dieting, I'd listen to books on fasting so that I was in the mindset and I was in the awareness so that I would feel less of a urge to break my diet, because I was getting all this information. I was thinking about it. I had raised my awareness to do. Now, this is no different. So I didn't really want to work out. So what did I do? I found a movie about working out. By the end of the movie, what am I doing? I'm driving to Experience Gold's Gym. I'm going to go get a great back workout. And that's the thing that I'm talking about, is anything that you're focused on. Let's say that you're trying to raise money. Okay, start reading books about raising money. Start reading, because a lot of times people, if they need to raise money, they actually read books about saving money. Well, it's going to be really hard to raise money if you're in a scarcity mindset. Now, I'm not telling you go out there and spend everything. I'm just saying that there's different conversations being had. You're in a different mindset. And so if you're constantly, talking about things like the bottom line or whatever, you're by proxy kind of not focusing as much as you need to on the top line. That awareness isn't being accessed by your subconscious. And, these are things that, I know actually there's going to be a very specific client out there that thinks I'm talking about them. No, you just have to accept that I am not actually talking about you, because this is a far more common problem than I think people realize. It's, your focus. It's kind of like the old race car mentality. You need to you need to look and steer that car. So you're looking where you want to go instead of looking at what you don't want to hit. So the thing is you tend to hit the thing that you look at. And so if you're a race car driver and you're looking at the wall, you're going to run into the wall. But if you're looking at the turn and you're looking into the turn, chances are you are going to make that turn at a much higher success rate than you would if you stare at the wall. So you should know that. And this holds true in so many things. So for instance, I'm not going to guilt myself into, man, you got to get to the gym. You got to do this, blah, blah, blah. No. I want to inspire myself to the gym, because if I drag myself to the gym, my mindset might not be there to where I can really put some real energy and effort into it. And so that's the thing. A lot of people, now don't get me wrong, I'm actually listening to the book Never Finished by David Goggins. So there is absolutely a time and place to just push through. There's a time and place to just do the work, embrace the suck, as I think Jocko Willink says, and it just is what it is, and just accept it, move on. However, if you have the choice to be inspired, like, think about it. Would you rather have a disciplined workout? And I'm talking about a one-off, because if you bring consistency into it, then discipline is actually going to win. But I'm saying this one-off, when you're at the gym, would you rather have a disciplined workout, or would you rather have an inspired workout? Most of the time, you would rather have an inspired workout. Would you rather have a disciplined life or an inspired life, or a life that tends to inspire? Now, in a lot of ways, guys, I'm not saying choose one or the other. This really is a genius is in the and, because a lot of times a disciplined life tends to inspire. All I'm saying is, in those moments, a lot of people will miss these inspirational moments, and they will give a half-assed workout, or they'll give a 10% workout, or they just kind of show up at the gym. They kind of move around a little bit, but they didn't really do anything. But they're like, yeah, but I did that. No, you didn't. And so, if you can find a way to be inspired, this is why gym partners are so important. This is why business partners are so important. This is why accountability partners are so important. This is why coaches are so important. Someone that you have to bounce off of, answer to, ask questions of, report to, is a really, really important component of life. But so often we're going, yeah, I did it. Yeah, but did you do it? Like this 75 hard, which, I'm probably going to catch some flack for this, but I think it sucks. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be hard, but in so many ways, it's not actually healthy. I've actually talked to quite a few doctors about that, and they agree. So anyway, the 75 hard thing, I actually think a lot of people who get to the end are absolute liars. Because when you read the rules, it says it has to be 2 separate workouts. It can't be just kind of walking. It has to be walking at a certain pace and like with a brisk clip. It has to be still water, not sparkling water. And I feel like everyone I've talked to, well, most everyone I've talked to, who does 75 hard is just modifying it. So you didn't actually do it. And that's actually what happened to me, full disclosure. I think I forgot my picture one day, and then I had started over, and then I did something, and then I found out that, I can't remember what the rule was, but I remember it was something along the lines of like the sparkling versus still water or something. And they're like, oh, well, no, that's fine. Like, I do that too. And I'm like, yeah, but just because you break the rules and you think it's okay doesn't mean that I'm going to. And so I really think that if you're going to be a disciple of discipline, be disciplined in something that really matters. One of my favorite quotes is, sure, measure what matters, but here's the thing, guys. Question what's measured. So many times people cherry pick data. So, for instance, the 75 hard, yeah, I did it. Yeah, but did you do it? Like, so many times I watched people just upload a photo and they didn't actually do it. And they're always like doing the, like when Andy Frisella comes on the screen and they do the thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up YouTube, like 75 Hard, they'll explain it if you need a visual representation of this, because I am driving, so there's going to be no YouTube video to this podcast. But it's just people get into this completionist mentality. And you got to ask yourself, what are you completing? And did you actually complete it? And so one of the things is, let's ask ourselves, when I'm feeling guilty, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm not doing what I think I need to be doing. Are you in an activity biased or an accomplishment biased? If you are accomplishing things, then clap for yourself. Then take some rest. Have some fun. And if you get into that mindset of, oh, I need to go accomplish something, I need to this, I need to that, then it's fine. But do it in an inspired way, not this guilt-stricken way where you're beating yourself up the whole time, and it really is not a very productive workout. So, I think the moral of the story here is accomplishment. Like, what are we actually accomplishing? Don't write down all your activities, but what are we what's the domino? What are we pushing over? But in those hard times, here's the thing, the tool that I want you to use so that you can take yourself to the next level. In those moments where you're like, I feel uninspired, Greg. I'm not inspired. I can't get this done. You know what? I'm just going to take tonight off. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, it's too tough. Oh, it's, when your excuses start getting bigger than your goals, which we all know, that happens to the best of us. Surround yourself with other people who are inspiring. This is why communities are so important. If you surround yourself with other people who are accomplishing things, or are leading by example, or are showing you what's possible, or are clapping when you are saying, hey, check out what I did, and they genuinely want to see you succeed, check this out. You're going to want to get up and go. You're going to want to accomplish something. So communities are really important. This is why I talked about our Facebook group. I really want to see you there. And I really want you to join us. It's a completely free group. Remember, The Final Percent Network. Just search anywhere you can search on Facebook. It's going to pop up. And if it says, who invited you to the group, just say Greg on his podcast, just so that I know that you listen to this. But this is the thing, is doing that. But if you're in diet mode, then, listen to books on diet. Listen to podcasts on diet. If you're in workout mode, then, watch some whatever. If you're in business mode, you've got to keep diving back into, you've got to dive into the possibility of you. And when you are doing inspired things, you are going to tend to inspire. And I want to see you inspire people. I want to see you a part of our community. I guarantee you there's someone listening to this podcast right now that if you're feeling a little inspired on this, I'm telling you there is something that you can absolutely inspire me in as well. And I hope that we can have a conversation. I hope that you join our community. And I hope that I can, get to talk to you so that we can see what is possible with one another. Because the things that we are capable of is so much better and so much more grand than anything any of us individually are capable of. So let's inspire each other. Let's reach out to one another. But this is a tool I've used for a long time. When I start to go, oh God, there's no way I'm going to get a workout in, throw a movie on, listen to a podcast about nutrition. Something about that is going to put your mind back in that, like, oh man, I want to go use some of this knowledge I just got, or oh man, that guy's a great example. Oh, I want to get this done. So I hope that this helps you. I hope you join our community. Thank you for going the final percent, and I will see you next Monday.
It's the